Bama football on YouTube. It's a nightcap. I appreciate you guys being here. Give it roll tide inside the comment box. Good evening, fam. What's going on? It is Kyle Henderson of Bama football on YouTube. Give a shout out to Alabama basketball as the Crimson Tide men's basketball team gets their first W of the season. Give a thumbs up for the basketball team inside the comment box, defeating North Dakota by a score of 91-62. Did you watch this game? All right, just watched it myself. Got a taste of Alabama basketball, and I think it's been amazing to see what Nate Oates has done here at Alabama basketball. I mean, some people certainly just have it, as in terms of like coaching or being a playmaker, and Nate Oates is certainly one of those guys. Let's go into the box score full screen while I let everybody get checked in. This game just went final probably about literally 3 minutes ago, and as you can see, when we look at the stat line, you have a player like LeBaron Philon coming back, right? One of the best players in the entire nation. He pours in 22 points tonight in Alabama's season opener. You see over here, he goes 9 of 13. He was 69% from the field, 2 of 4 from three-point land. Overall, actually, Alabama was 8 of 27, 29%. It's a number that certainly has to improve, but for a season opener, I'm not mad about it. Freshman Amari Allen, he pours in 12 points. He has 6 defensive rebounds, 7 rebounds total in this game, was 4 of 9 and 44% from the field. Bench play, you got London Jameson, right? 12 points, 4-11 from the field, and then you have Davion Hannah with a monster dunk. Did anybody, by chance, who watched this game? Was there anybody? And you know what's crazy is I had to download ESPN, so I'm like streaming from the app to my TV. It is always it's kind of confusing where we're at right now with like streaming and whatnot. With that said, welcome to the show. I appreciate you guys kicking with me. Thank you so much for being here on the program. Kyle Anderson, Bama football on YouTube. Let me know where you're watching from inside the comment box, and away we go with the show. All right, so tonight on the nightcap, kind of where I want to start out with is clearly I want to do our nightcap roll call. So let me see where everybody's checked in from. I'm kind of a little bit bundled up tonight. Yeah, I have to admit it was. Let me adjust this real quick. It's getting a little bit chilly here in Tuscaloosa. Not that it's that cold, but I mean, I don't know. When you're used to 80 degrees and then you come down to 50 degrees or whatever, I mean, it's a little bit cold. All right, so let's see. We got Young C. What's up, man? Good to see you. Always up inside the comment box. We got Alyssa. Michelle coming to us. What's up? Thank you very much for joining us from Georgia. We got Herman. What's going on, man? Good to see you as well. We got Mindy, Miss Careless. We got Broderick checking in for the nightcap as well. We got Turn Up. What's up? We got Steve Taylor. We got Blissful Love. Let's see who else we got. We got Rex Green. What's going on, Rex? Did you watch the basketball game by chance? Casey Cox, man. What's up? Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you. Cookie all day. We got From. What's up, man? Good to see you as well. And we got Rita. What's up? I appreciate y'all. And we got Anna. What's up? Appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Jay Taylor, what's up? Coming to us from Morris, Alabama. All right. So first off, what I want to do. Oh, Ethan. Good evening, man. And we got Miss Nicole as well. All right. Okay. So what we're gonna do to open up the show, get everybody checked in. What I want to do is we're kind of at buy or sell. If you missed it, kind of did the quick opening on men's basketball. Alabama wins its season opener tonight. I've watched them pretty good. But what I want to do right now is do a quick buy or sell. All right. So take off your little Alabama football hat, and let's just talk about buying or selling a couple teams that I have questions about as we go into Tuesday, where they will be college football rankings in the evening time. Okay, so the first team, now all you have to do is type B for buy and S for sell. Okay, so are we buying Texas football? Yes or no? Are we buying Texas or are we selling Texas? And I bring up the Texas Longhorns because they're coming off a victory against Vanderbilt. All right, so they beat Vanderbilt. Now, is this the Texas team that we thought they would be? Now, I caution you with saying this before you answer, okay? They do play Georgia, and then the last game of the season, they have Texas A&M. So are you buying or selling on Texas? I think it's an interesting question. I probably earlier today, even I was cutting my college football playoff rankings, I was like, this is a team I probably, at this point in time, have to buy because Arch Manning, through the last 2 games, he's starting to perform well, right? Over 300 and 45 yards in this last game. The previous game against Mississippi State in overtime, he also threw for over 300 yards. So I think if he has consistent play, Texas is going to be a good football team. I think what's kind of prohibited Texas from finding their rhythm is the simple fact that Texas hasn't found that rhythm in Arch Manning. So, but I just, going up against Georgia and Texas A&M, can you imagine if Texas A&M and Georgia both lose to Texas? You know what I'm saying? Like, that would cause some chaos in the college football. I don't know if it's happening. Texas does go on the road to beat Georgia. So my second question is right now, and I see it seems like we're selling, but is Texas football, who wins, Texas or Georgia? Type T for Texas and type G for Georgia. Who wins, Texas or Georgia? And I know a lot of people are probably asking about this, so I'll talk about this next. What's up, Ethan? Good to see you, bro. So Dre Kirkpatrick Jr., right, clearly in the news. He was arrested this past weekend. You can read up on it. I think there's several sites that have, exactly what the details are from the Tuscaloosa Police Department. I think in terms of him being kicked off the team, I haven't heard that he's kicked off the team. I heard suspended indefinitely, and that's just it. Like, we probably won't know more until Coach Kalen DeBoer says more. So, look, I think Dre Kirkpatrick Jr. is clearly going to be held accountable for what took place. Coach Kalen DeBoer addressed it. He didn't really have to say anything else. It's like what happens with the team, what happens with the law happens, and you move forward. So there's been guys that have ran into issues before, and I caution you to judge anybody in this life, because I feel like there's been guys in the past that have made mistakes and then, rallied back from those mistakes. And also, it's like, just like Fromm is saying, kind of inside the comment box, is like, we have to let all of it played out. I'm not condoning anyone's actions. I haven't even dove into all of the facts, to be honest. But like a player, I think sometimes that we forget about that ran into some trouble is Mac Jones. Remember, a lot of people forget that I think it was either a DUI or I don't know if it was a DWI. It was one of the two that he got when he was here. He was kind of lower on the depth chart, right? So he had to work through that. He had to come through that. He had to be accountable, and he had to, rectify the decisions that he made. And through community service and all that stuff, he came out and looked to where he's at right now. I mean, Mac Jones was an outstanding ambassador for the University of Alabama. Thereafter that, after he grew up and owned that sort of stuff, and look what he's doing right now with the 49ers. So, look, Coach Kalen DeBoer, he's responsible for the organization. He will make, the call on those things. And I think when you're looking, I'm really big into mentorship, right? So you address it, you figure out what's going on, you make sure that he's accountable, and you take action, and you move forward. And Dre Kirkpatrick, we track it as it goes. So that's really all I know, but I haven't heard that he's kicked off or anything like that. So, and I think Coach Kalen DeBoer would probably say if he was kicked off, and I haven't heard that he's kicked off, right? So and this is another good question, is like, how do we define suspended indefinitely? What that means to me is he's suspended until Coach Kalen DeBoer lets kind of it all settle, probably within, understanding more facts, understanding what the courts, have asked for, and, figuring out all the process. And then Kalen DeBoer probably make another decision going forward, if that's, a couple games, the rest of the season, who knows. So, and I think Michael Smith says what it means to him is he is suspended for an unlimited period of time. I probably agree with that, right? You probably just figure out suspended maybe until further notice. So there's the news with Dre Kirkpatrick. Okay, so my next question, so we were doing buy or sell before we got to that. My next question is, are we buying or selling a team like Indiana? And earlier I had a question. It was a short video. Is I was asking, like, are we buying or selling Indiana? And a lot of people feel that Indiana is for real. I think there was a couple people inside the comment box that said, yo, Kyle, like, this team is for real. And I just can't come to grips with feeling like this team is a true contender. I kind of look to their schedule, and they're beating up teams for sure. Like, they beat up on Maryland. They beat up on Michigan State. The 5-point win against Iowa. Teams have their games or whatever. And I like their quarterback, and I like their coach. But I don't know. It's not an impressive resume to me. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I've drank too much SEC sauce. I don't know what it is. Like, even Biden inside the comment box, like, here we go again. I don't know, man. What do you think, Curry? What you thinking, man? Buy or sell? I don't know. I'm still kind of out that. BYU, I'm not even going to touch that. I think BYU, they're having a great season, but I always come back to how would BYU deal in like a SEC type schedule? You know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know how many games they would win, to be honest. Like, I don't even know if BYU beats Mississippi State. Do you agree with that? And I think a lot of people, and I see this out there, when I'm talking like college football playoff rankings, and this is to DSGB. What's up, bro? Good to be here, bro. I appreciate you. They're going to hold that loss that Alabama had at the beginning of the season. A lot of people feel that defined Alabama's entire season. There's a group of people rather out there that feel that loss was that significant that defined Alabama's entire season. And there's no way that you can change these people's minds. I see it all the time because I'm out there and I see, like, hey, because I'm fighting for, and it doesn't matter. And of course, you could always say, it'll work out for the, at the end of the day. It always does, right? And Alabama will win a national championship, or they'll play Ohio State for the title game, and, they'll squash Indiana and all that stuff. But for now, it's like that loss was so major, and the worse that Florida State looks in all the games that they've lost, that hurt Alabama in those people's eyes. The way that I see it is completely opposite, because I look to Alabama as a team, and I've seen how they have responded since that loss. But it doesn't matter to anybody else. They're like, hey, you lost, and that's it. That defines your entire season. You will not get a top 4 seed. The only way that Alabama can rectify to that loss to these people is if they win a national championship. That's the only way. And even people will still say, well, that wasn't Alabama's best team because they lost to Florida State. So, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. There's a group of people that will never, ever, ever get past that Florida State loss. So I see it completely different. I think that this team wouldn't be a title contender if they would have, if they wouldn't have had that loss. They had to take it on the chin to get to this point in time. And I get it. People think what they want. But you look to how they've responded since that time. They've basically become an unbeatable force. They're playing the toughest competition. Everything is going their way. The quarterback is playing out of his mind. You fix the running game somehow. Offensive line's kind of up and down. Defense is playing absolutely incredible. I mean, it's hard for me to see a team coming in and beating Alabama again. That's my take. I think that Alabama wins the national championship. I really do. I know you didn't ask me, and I know it's rat poison, but I just don't see a team beating Alabama. I really don't. Okay, let me see. Who else I got buy or sell? I won't do BYU because I don't even think it's worth doing BYU. I thought there was another team that I had on here. Let me see. Injury report. Oh. This is a team. How about Ole Miss? Are we buying or are we selling Ole Miss? I think I might be buying Ole Miss. Pretty good squad. And, a couple of things go differently. The only thing is I think Ole Miss could beat, like, Indiana. I think Ole Miss could beat Oregon. I think Ole Miss could beat, a couple other teams. But Lane Kiffin is not going to – I think, you know what? I think given the opportunity, I would love to see Ole Miss and Texas A&M play. But Lane Kiffin, the thing is, he won't win the big game, right? He won't win a semifinal game. He won't win, I don't even know if he wins a quarterfinal game. But they are dangerous. That running back that they have, I don't know if you've seen this guy, a straight up monster. So really good team. I'm buying Ole Miss down the stretch. They have a very favorable back end of the schedule. This team should finish the season 11-1. I think they'll be very dangerous in the playoffs. So, I think buying Ole Miss, certainly. And like we say, I feel like Auburn is the stepchild, right? Like, or the stepbrother, whatever, in this relationship. But Ole Miss is our favorite cousin. Everybody on here, everybody loves Lane Kiffin. Everybody. I don't know if people are warmed up to that. It's just, I don't know if they'd ever like to see him here. Some people would, some people won't. Kalen DeBoer will obviously be here, for 10, 15 more years, whatever. But people love Lane Kiffin here. Bama loves Lane Kiffin, and Kiffin loves Alabama. So this is like your favorite cousin, right? You kind of like, you don't want them to do too well, like in this particular case, but like people like respect and love Lane Kiffin. So I know. See, Broderick, that's what I'm saying, man. He's like, I'm not going to lie. I do, 100%. All right, okay. Injury report going into LSU. Injury report. Lazier Brooks coming back. Lazier Brooks, one of the best freshman wide receivers in the nation. You have probably Malachi Toney, probably number 1, and Lazier Brooks, probably number 2, as like true freshman, right? You definitely saw kind of a dip in the production even last game with Lazier Brooks out. He just kind of already adds another element. Lazier Brooks is such a talent, and the thing that makes me laugh all the time is the fact that this dude was a 3-star, right? Like, who the hell rated him as a 3-star? Oh, my goodness. Did they miss on that? So that just tells you, like, the 2 3-stars that are absolutely eating on this squad are Lazier Brooks and London Simmons. So next time that Courtney Morgan lands a 3-star, I don't want to hear any complaining about any of the star rankings. So as long as Courtney Morgan gave the green light to offer, that's fine. Like, you brought in Lazier Brooks, the best wide receiver since last year, in Ryan Williams, and now you brought in, London Simmons. I trust you. You know what I'm saying? The other wide receiver is Isaiah Horton. It's been an interesting. Let me ask you this, chat. Will Isaiah Horton come back next year? Yes or no? Type Y for yes. Type N for no. At first I thought when Isaiah Horton got here, I thought he was a one and done. Now, I think as Isaiah Horton 100% comes back, right? Diamond Girl, what's up? See you inside the con, boss. Good to be here. From McCalla. I think he comes back, and so now you look at kind of wide receivers next year. It's going to be crazy. Now, you do lose Germ. That's a gigantic loss. But players are going to grow up. And look at the wide receivers for next year. Isaiah Horton, Ryan Williams, Lazier Brooks, Cedarian Morgan, Jalen Hell, Cole Adams, Jalen Mbakwe, Derek Meadows. Oh, my goodness, right? Brian Williams, right? Isn't Brian Williams part of that crew? Is it the 6'4" wide receiver out of Florida? I just wonder who will kind of play that role of Jerry Bernard. Thought about that several times. I would imagine it's probably, Rico Scott, too. Rico Scott, man. All those guys, right? I mean, that room sounds ridiculous. I would imagine Isaiah Horton, Ryan Williams, Lazier Brooks, and Cedarian Morgan start. And Rico Scott first off the bench. And I know a lot of people talking about this too. Like Ryan Harris, dude, I'm serious. I wouldn't be surprised if Cam Coleman transfers here too. So who does that take off the field? Does that take off Ryan Williams? So do you have Cam Coleman, Lazier Brooks, and Cedarian Morgan? as your starters, or do you have Sedarian Morgan, Ryan Williams, and Lazier Brooks? That sounds nasty. You hear what I just said? Ryan Williams, Sedarian Morgan, Cam Coleman, and Lazier Brooks. I don't know. It doesn't matter. This is the best wide receiver room. And then you also have Derek Meadows. Do you take who does Derek Meadows take off? Does Derek Meadows take off what? Isaiah Horton? I don't know. You have like 15 wide receivers, right? And, you know, the players are making so much money, but trust me, there is enough money to go around to pay all these guys whatever they want. If they really wanted to do $100 million buyout or whatever, they could have done it very easily. Alabama is the furthest thing from broke. Furthest thing. They want who they want, they'll get them. They want the coaches, they got them. They want a new building, they'll build it. They're not they're not saving their pennies over here. Big countries, like if Cam comes, at least 3 will transfer. It always happens. And those wide receivers will go to like Cincinnati, Houston, and like, I don't know, Kansas. And you'll never hear about them again. Right? Like Kendrick Law, where he left. Ja'Cory Brooks, he left. Emmanuel Henderson, he left. Kobe Prentice, he left. You're like, man, too bad, but the other guys that are transferring in are always better. It's the wildest thing. And the guys who transfer out, you just never hear about them again. They always go to a school that's not a top 25 school. Yeah, see? Oh, I even forgot about Caleb Odom. Damn, man. That's crazy. I forgot about Caleb Odom. So he rides the bench? He should have stayed at tight end. He should have stayed at tight end and just developed. And you know what? Wade's World, you're right, bro. The wide receivers who did leave, they're doing pretty well. Like Emmanuel Henderson, I know he's having a strong season for sure. I don't know about Kendrick Law, but they go other places where they're just not on the map of anybody, you know? I mean, if you want to be visible, you still come to Bama, right? What is it? 7.6 million viewers watching Alabama games. And all of the NFL scouts that are also at Alabama's practice. Think about this, Wade's World. The scouts at the NFL scouts daily at Alabama's practice compared to the daily scouts at Kansas. There's like, it's crazy. There's probably one scout at a Kansas football practice, right? Man, and I loved Kobe Prentice, man. I thought that guy would be good. He wouldn't play here. Emmanuel Henderson wouldn't play here. Kendrick Law wouldn't play here. That's how good the Alabama NFL wide receivers are. Elite. Like, that's why this team, good luck matching up with them. As Ty continues to get better and better and better, man, it's going to be too tough to stop. So the 2 wide receivers are back. That was a long, kind of winded injury report on 2 players. But just kind of, you saw the wide receiver room needs Lazier Brooks, plain and simple. Quay Russaw, it sounds like he'll probably be back by Oklahoma. He's not going to be back by this weekend against LSU, which I don't think is a bad thing. But Quay Russaw, don't get into this space where you have to play either Quay or Yanze Pierre. Don't be like, oh, man, you can only play. No. Like, what that means is you have added depth. You know what I'm saying? It's like, think about it like this. Like, you have a really, really nice car, and you got another really, really nice car, and you can just drive them both whenever you want and not rack up the miles on either car. Like, Yanze Pierre, this guy is an absolute phenom. We've been waiting for 42 on defense to come through. How would you assess Yanze Pierre's play on a scale of 1 to 10, fam? Like, think about this. He wasn't even a starter. Yanze Pierre was probably, you could say he was 2 or 3 on the depth chart. Quay, Ja Latham, then Yanze Pierre. Yo, I would say Yanze Pierre's play probably is like a 8.5 or something like that. And Quay, you know what? Yanze Pierre collectively is playing better than Quay Russaw was when Quay Russaw was a starter. But now that Quay's back, you just basically have another star on defense. No other teams can, not a lot of teams can say that they have that type of depth in college football. They can't. Yeah, look at Ryan Harris is saying a 10. Cody is saying a 10. Yonzi Pierre, we are waiting for Yonzi, just like we've been waiting for Keon Keeley, and he's coming around. We can start to see more and more of 31 in the mix too. Ryan is like, we haven't had a legit pass rusher since Will Anderson, and Will Anderson is still doing work in the NFL. Houston is, I can't believe Houston still has a losing record. That team is so good, man. And I don't know, Adam. What's up, dog? Adam's like, who do you take off the field? I don't know if you probably just, if you're Kane Womack, you probably just continue to rotate in based on situational downs, right? Like if it's first and whatever, you have a package, and then you can keep these guys in, rotate with James Smith, Tim Keenan, London Simmons, Edge Akill. I mean, those are your big boys, and then you have Quay. You have your inside linebackers that you can rotate in with Justin Jefferson. Dude, the defense is sick. You know what I'm saying? The defense is good. And so I see Adam saying put Quay in for James. Well, James plays kind of that down and dirty position next to Tim. I don't know if you could take him. That's kind of interesting. A lot of people have actually said move Quay to the inside linebacker position for even next year. Can you imagine that if they did that? So next year, theoretically, you could have, because you're going to have somebody grow up on inside linebacker, right? Because you're losing Nakahil Green, Justin Jefferson, and Deontay Lawson. You're losing 3 guys. So theoretically, you could have like Quay at the inside with like Caden Jones or QB Reese, or maybe one of those freshmen grows up, Daryl Duke Johnson, Luke Metz, or Abdul Sanders. I don't know. But you're going to have somebody grow up. But maybe next year you have Yonzi Pierre, Keon Keeley, and Quay Rusa all in the field at the same time, which sounds crazy, but that could definitely be the truth. All right. Okay, look. I said this earlier on a shorter video that Auburn, who do you think Auburn hires? You know it's going to be a hilarious pick. It's just, and I see the same writers who write about all these hot boards are like Lane Kiffin, Marcus Freeman, Jimbo Fisher. They're not getting anybody like that. Stop it. Lane Kiffin is not leaving Ole Miss. It's the same thing. It's like the same writers who wrote about Nick Saban coming back. Like, please stop. Oh, my God. Stop. Auburn is going to go with somebody. I mean, if they really wanted to get somebody, you could get Alex Golish, okay? Or just, you know what? Like Ronnie's saying, stick with DJ Durkin, all right? Stick with DJ Durkin and then see what else is out there whenever. Dan Mullen, I saw that. That could be interesting. You know what? Florida should have never got rid of Dan Mullen either. These programs, you know what? Nick Saban ruined the SEC because that's the standard. Hey, if Bama could do this, then we can. No, you can't. Like, if you win 8 games, that's impressive. Dan Mullen had Florida in the SEC title game. You know what, Brian, bro, you're like in my mind tonight. Cadillac Williams, that guy from the program, loved the program, was winning games. I don't know why he doesn't get an opportunity. And look, Cody's saying Auburn gets James Franklin. I could kind of see that happening. But guess what? James Franklin would get absolutely wrecked in the SEC. Wrecked. And I like James Franklin. I think Alex Golish would be a great coach for these guys if they really wanted to up their game. I think the offensive schematics paired with Auburn's already tenacity on defense would be actually kind of scary. But I don't think they'll do that. They'll get somebody else. You know, they'll probably get James Franklin. I think they'll get James Franklin, and they'll be in the same position. I see no movement if they get James Franklin, and they'll get ran over. That'll be it. Same thing, right? It'll be interesting, but I could always tell that he doesn't win big games, doesn't show up, and but that's if Auburn's going to get anybody, I could see them going that route. All right. Garrett Nussmeier versus Ty Simpson. Another opportunity for Ty to slice up a quarterback that was way ahead of him in the preseason rankings, right? I think that if you go back and look at some of the preseason quarterback rankings, nobody had Ty Simpson in their top 10, right? He was like the forgotten quarterback. He didn't even make it to SEC Media Days, right? There was a huge line around Arch Manning that stretched like the entire stadium. Everybody was talking about Garrett Nussmeier like they always do. Everybody was talking about Gunnar Stockton. Everybody was talking about John Mateer. I was talking about John Mateer. I mean, the guy's, his film screams elite, right? And he's a pretty good quarterback still. But Ty Simpson has sliced all those quarterbacks up, including Diego Pavia. And this is another opportunity for Ty to showcase himself against one of the nation's top quarterbacks, a quarterback that will play in the NFL. And that's why I have high confidence that Ty Simpson leaves after this year. I know there's a lot of people that are like, well, Ty will come back. No, he won't. Why? Ty could leave right now, and he could be a top 5 pick in the NFL draft in 2026. 100%. What he's done this year is ridiculous. Ridiculous. He's not close to his ceiling. That's what's scary. I think he's very comparable to like Bo Nix. Maybe a little Baker Mayfield, if you will. I think Jackson Dart is more athletic than Ty, but Ty's an athletic cat, so there is zero chance he comes back. I know there's somebody out there is like, not somebody, but like people out there is like, oh, he's gonna come back and Keelan Russell's gonna leave. No, he's not. Ty, let me ask you, Undefeated, is Ty Simpson coming back? Yes or no for next year? No way. No way he comes back. It's ridiculous, man. Think about it. Jalen Milroe left. Jalen Milroe left to the NFL. You really think Ty Simpson is going to stay? No, man. Ty Simpson's going to be picked in the top 5. And I see Julian Saint up there along with Fernando Mendoza and Ty Simpson. Julian Saint's good. He's been having a really good season. I've been impressed by him for sure. You know what? Julian Saint's a lot better than I thought he would be. But, man, Ryan, you're like, Ryan, you run the show, Ryan. He hasn't played a lot of tough defenses. He really hasn't. And when you have Jeremiah Smith, man, that dude is nasty. Some of the catches that he made are crazy. So, no, there's no way in hell that Ty Simpson comes back. It'll be another opportunity for Ty Simpson to slice up another quarterback that is slated to go in the NFL. Just like Ty swept up Bo Prabula, Diego Pavia, Gunnar Stockton, and Lenore Sellers, and Joey Aguilar. Garrett Nussmeier is next. Plain and simple. All right. The running game. Today during Coach Ryan Grubb's press conference, he was asked about the running game, and I think the reporter was like, "Is there any particular spot to where like the running game needs to improve?" And Ryan was like, it's all areas. He's not going to throw any of his guys under the bus, clearly, but I have to say the honest evaluation, and I've said it, and I've been very open about this. It's not the running backs. It's not like AK Deer like on the bench. Like that has nothing to do with it. Do you know how stupid it would be for Ryan Grubb not to be playing the best running back in the room? Like the Ryan Grubb is absolutely like the guy. He knows what he has, right? He's playing jam. He's found out that Daniel Hill has arrived. I don't know why they shifted from Kevin Riley, but AK Deer has it, and AK Deer will play at some point in time. And he did early in the season against Louisiana Monroe, and he looked the part and is going to be the part. But right now, it's just like, they need to figure out the offensive line. I don't think it matters who's at running back, to be honest, right? But there was somebody who said something inside the comment box. Oh, yeah, I have that, Eric D. I'll show you my college football playoff rankings in 2 seconds. I just posted them, actually, just a little bit ago. All right. Let's see what Rex saying. Wait, you know who wanted Sane to be his quarterback, don't you? You know who? Are you talking Saban? Wait, you know who wanted Sane to be his QB? I don't know what that means, Rex. But I saw recently, like, Coach Saban was like, I was an idiot to have him on the scout team. I think wasn't he talking about Ty Simpson? I don't even think that's bad. Like, I think people thought he was talking about Sayin, but Sayin was only here for a month. I know it. I saw Sayin with my own eyes. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So the running game, will we get a running game at some point in time? I don't know. I hope we do, but maybe we don't, and I don't know. It's scary to think of if they don't, but if they do, it's scary for everybody else in college football because, my goodness, if they're able to do that, who knows how good this football team is going to be. All right, let me pull up, see if I can pull up my college football playoff rankings real quick. I just posted them not too long ago. I don't know what happened. Now we got on some weird screen. Remember, I do all this on the fly, so I appreciate you guys giving me grace. Sometimes I get lost in the weeds over here. Yeah, I just posted them not too long ago. I don't know. Did anybody see them? I'll run through them real quick so you guys can check them out. Try to find them in 2 seconds. Okay, this one. And the way that I've kind of talked about, like, ratings or rankings a couple different ways. I've talked about them, like, how I have the teams, like, right now. But I'll show you how, like, these are my rankings. Let me see if I can get them up on the screen. All right, my bad, fam. All right, let's see. All right, so these are my rankings right here. Don't mind that arrow. So if I had to rank the college football playoff teams, and this is how I think it, I don't know if it'll look like this on Tuesday, but if I was on the committee and, like, Josh Pate was the commissioner and he was like, hey, Kyle, I want you to be on the committee. I'd be like, all right, Pate, whatever you need, dog. And he was like, what is your legitimate, like, 1 through 12? I'd be like, Commissioner Pate, this is what my ballot looks like. And if he was like, okay, can you explain to me why you have Alabama over Indiana? Is it because you cover Alabama football? I would say, no, Commissioner Pate. The reason is, for me, is I value quality schedule and quality wins more than a light schedule. And Commissioner Josh Pate would be like, can you explain? I'd be like, yes, Commissioner Pate. I'd say Alabama beat 4 teams in the top 25 consecutively. No other team has ever done that before in the SEC. And no other team on this board has beaten 3 teams in the top 25. Alabama beat 4. But what about that first loss in the season? Don't you feel that defines Alabama's season for the rest of their life, for eternity? No, Commissioner Pate, because I feel that Alabama since then has shown that they have taken a step forward week after week after week after week. Well, they only beat South Carolina in this last game by such an amount of time. Well, Commissioner Pate, I feel that Alabama was actually one of their best victories because they don't win a game like that last year. This team has shown growth in the fact that they were able to come from behind 8 points, right, on the road against a running quarterback and to be able to win a game like that. Okay, thank you, Kyle. I have one more question, Kyle. Why do you have Indiana over A&M? Well, I feel that Commissioner Pate, Indiana, I told you how I feel about them. Their win over Oregon is more impressive to me than Texas A&M's 1-point win over Notre Dame. Okay. Do you have any other questions, Commissioner Pate? Yeah, I do. You have Vandy. That gives you 6 teams from the SEC in your poll. All right, Commissioner Pate, I'd like to explain that final point, please. Okay, Kyle, go ahead. Well, I feel that Texas, they moved into the top 5 spot in the SEC because they beat Oklahoma and they beat Vanderbilt, okay? And Vanderbilt seems like a pretty damn good football team. I think that if there was more time on the clock, they'd probably win that game. I think that Vanderbilt would handedly win the Big 12 championship. I feel that Vanderbilt would handedly win the ACC championship. And I feel that Vanderbilt would handedly win the AAC championship. And I feel that Vanderbilt would handedly beat Notre Dame. Are there any more questions, Commissioner Pate? No, Kyle. Thank you very much. And that would be my explanation for my rankings. Okay? Did you guys like that? I felt like, let me ask you a question. Would Vanderbilt win the Big 12 championship? Yes or no? Would Vanderbilt win the ACC? Would Vanderbilt win the AAC? If you answered yes to all those questions, then the SEC could theoretically get in, 6 teams into the tournament. And they should. It's the toughest conference. It's an absolute grind in that conference. It's NFL light. Who are you going to put over Vanderbilt? BYU, it's just a matter of time before they lose. Come on, let's face it. Let's stop lying. And Texas Tech, come on. So who else are you going to take? You're going to take Virginia? You're going to take Virginia to beat Vanderbilt? Look, Georgia Tech, I love me some Brent Key. I do, right? Come on. You lost to North Carolina State, all right? And then the AAC, you got Memphis, you got, Navy, you got North Texas. So, I think Vandy's in over Georgia Tech because they played a tougher schedule. And I think head-to-head, if you put those two teams on paper, and if you ask like a straw poll, people would say Vanderbilt is a better football team than Georgia Tech. Although that would be one hell of a game, right? Now, Georgia Tech can get in this if they're able to win the conference. And maybe you get Vanderbilt and you get Georgia Tech. Maybe that's your 8 and 9. I don't know. But that's kind of you guys asked me for my rankings. There it is. So this is how tomorrow will work. Tomorrow in the evening time, I'll do a live watch along for the college football playoff rankings in the evening time, along with my daily show at 10 a.m. All right, so that's kind of where we're at right now. Alabama's basketball team, in case if you missed it, they defeated North Dakota tonight. Phylon poured in, I think it was 22. It was a season opener. Alabama shot like 29 from three-point land, but the team's spicy. The team is really good. In fact, on the 8th, which is in 5 days, Alabama plays St. John's, who's number 5 in the country. All right, so that's where I hope you guys had a good time on the nightcap. I know I did. I always look forward to catching up with you guys. Thank you so much for kicking it with me right here on Bama Football on YouTube. News as it happens. Always. And tomorrow we'll do a watch and react to the coach's press conference from today. And we'll also hear a little bit from Frank Wilson, LSU's interim head football coach, before we get into the monster matchup on Saturday between Alabama and LSU. It doesn't matter who's coaching LSU. It doesn't matter who's coaching Auburn. These are historic rivalry games, and LSU still has a damn good football team. They have very good components on offense. They have a very good quarterback, and they have some electric wide receivers, all right? If you don't come with it, you'll get smacked upside the head by anybody in the SEC, okay? I hope that you guys get rest. Say your prayers. Thank God for this beautiful day. Thank God for your family, right? Hug your pillow tight and make sure that you get rest. Deep quality rest, because we got a big day tomorrow and the rest this week. All right, we got in my prediction, we got 7 games left. 7 games. We're blessed with the whole nother season. It's like this is like week 1 of the rest of our season. All right. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for kicking with me right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I'm tired. I know you're tired. Get some sleep, get some Z's, and we'll catch you with you tomorrow right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I love you, fam. Good night. Sleep tight. And as you know, don't let the Auburn Tigers bite. Good night, fam. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama on Monday, November 3rd. The Nightcap with Kyle Henderson. Alabama Football on YouTube. 1, 2, coming for you. 3, 4, better lock your door. Kalen DeBoer in the black hoodie. What's in store?